Oh. Alrighty, hey traders, hey traders, hey traders, hey traders. Welcome to another edition of Market Update Time with your host, Johnny Howe. We are going to have a look at the markets and the tide. Market Update Time with your host, Johnny Howe. And the topic of today's session is a reversal about to start? Is a reversal about to start in is a reversal about to start in the stock markets, and also silver and gold as well too. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's session. And what we're going to be doing as well too is I'll also be doing a Q&A as well too at the end. So with that being said, guys, once again, let me get into today's session here. All right, so let's actually get into today's session here, guys. All right, so guys, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this session today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There is no guarantees of making money in the markets, and you need to be very, very, very smart about the way that you are trading, because you need to know exactly what you're doing and be consistent at what you're doing as well too. Alrighty, so alrighty. Let's get straight into today's session. By the way, guys, also, as you guys know, I have a coaching call that people can just book me for just a one-on-one 1 hour coaching call. And right now I'm running a 60% off sale for today only. So if you're interested in booking me, for a 1 hour coaching call, go to Johns, that's JOHNS, coachingcall.com, johnscoachingcall.com, or there should be a link in the description. And you can go there, and so that for today only, one day, I'm running a 60% off sale. So yeah, so if that's interested in you, then go do that. And that's for today only, just to help you guys out. Now, let's get straight into the markets, and it's really, really, really interesting. I'm seeing some comments in the chat box right now, and I'm almost getting ready to fire up at that chat box. Anyway, calm the fuck down. That's what I'm saying to myself. Anyway, one thing that we're going to be looking at now with the stock market. Let's start with the Dow Jones first, okay? So with the Dow Jones, right now we're still at this area, aren't we? So the left chart here is the daily chart, the right chart is the weekly chart. And so what we're looking at here, right? What we're looking at here is this market is still just going sideways, isn't it? Like, or still just hovering around where we are right now at these resistance levels here. So it's really interesting. This point right here is a very, very, very strong resistance level, and we have been going up for quite some time. So is a reversal about to start? Well, we haven't got confirmation yet, meaning we haven't got a change in momentum yet. But by golly, you know, this thing has been going up for quite some time, and we are due for some sort of reversal. That doesn't mean we're going to get a reversal. This thing would just go sideways. This will obviously keep going up, but remember, a pullback could simply just mean it goes sideways for a week or two, and then continue up, if that's what it's going to do. So that's what I'm looking at there with the Dow Jones. We're right at this resistance level right now, and as you can see on this weekly chart over here, this is a very, very big, massive spike through here. So very, very, very big, strong, big strong down, big strong movement up, and that's what we're looking at through there in the markets there. So yes, that's what's going on there right now with the Dow Jones. The S&P 500, right? The S&P 500 has had the same thing as well too, right? A nice drop down, but this is getting very, very, very what we call long in the tooth, right? Very long in the tooth. And what does that mean? That simply means that this long in the tooth scenario means that we are getting ready now for some sort of a pullback or even a resting phase. And what I mean by that is that how you know that is if you bring up any stock and you squeeze your chart up, you can see that the distance from the 52, this is what's called basically time and price. Right. So when a stock gets, you can see the average movement that it gets from the 52, the average movement. Every now and then you're going to get a bit of a blow off valve like we did at the start of last year, 2018. But then we can see, right? Then we can see that the average distance from the 52. And so we're getting to that point right now where we are getting very, 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 we've been just going up for quite some time. So we will get some sort of a pullback. Now, the pullback simply means that it may go sideways, or it may actually have a decent pullback on that there. So, and again, we don't know whether that's going to happen right now. We haven't got any sort of change in momentum yet. So you don't want to be fighting this market, and you don't want to be fighting what's actually going on right now in this market as well too. So that's what we're looking at there in the S&P as well too, right? Nice drop down, nice movement back up. And so that's what we're seeing there right now with that there. And also the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq, same thing as well too, is that we're getting pretty long in the tooth, meaning we're getting pretty far away from this 52. So we are getting ready for possibly getting ready for a bit of reversal there. But again, we haven't got any change in momentum yet. So reversal, there's no change in momentum. So reversal is a question mark with that there. And what we're looking at there, and what's actually happening right now, is we can see that that it does look like that we may start to get some sort of a pullback or reversal very, very, very soon. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen here because there is no change in momentum. And this, remember, the market can keep going in one direction, right? That's what's called bubbles, and the market can be very, very, very overextended. So the market can do whatever it wants to do, really, but we just got to follow along with it. So right now, again, there's definitely no change in momentum yet when it comes to this, and we've got a very, very, very strong rally here through here. So especially this Nasdaq, it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens through here. But looking at this, especially this weekly Nasdaq, if you open up this weekly Nasdaq, you can see the lows of the candles, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher lows all the way up, and we're still getting a higher low this week right now. So you know, we've actually had higher lows. Simply mean on the weekly chart simply means that we're raising, the buyers will continue to raise their prices throughout every single week, which is a very, very, very strong bullish sign through there. So that's what we're looking at through there, and that's what we're doing right now in the Nasdaq through there. Now moving on to silver and gold as well too. Now the thing that's happening with gold is that gold is still in a very, very, very big, nicely upward trend. We're just holding here for a little bit, so we haven't actually had broken up or broken down. And you can see here on this weekly chart here, we're broken up through here, so we still have a very high probability of running back up to this 1360 level. I would believe. Very rarely would you see this market break up here and just stop in the middle of nowhere. So we still have a very good chance of running back up to that 1360 level. And if it does do that, that's when we can start to see a nice, decent, pretty big movement up from there. Same with silver as well too, right? Now the silver market, once again, you can see here that the silver market is indeed definitely at this resistance level here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, and higher low. And as you can see, this market is definitely stair-stepping higher, resistance and resistance. So we're still getting this double top formation here. We're struggling right at this level. And what is this resistance level here? This double whammy is this long-term trend line coming down on this weekly chart. We did get a massive double bottom formation on the weekly silver chart here. So with that being said, we're getting a nice strong rally up. If we do continue to hold here and break up, then once again, because what the market likes to do, once it breaks past resistance or the next resistance, it likes to run to the next resistance or next support or whatever it is. So that's what the market likes to do a lot of the times. So if it breaks through here, the next resistance is actually around about, the conservative anyway, is probably around about there. So it looks like it may actually have a nice run up through there. So, but with silver, remember, silver's a wildcat, so you want to be careful with that. So that's what we're seeing there through there right now, guys. And also, and let's go have a look at the silver here, SIL. The problem with this SIL and this SIL is that this weekly chart is still on a downward trend, and we are broken up through here. The one thing I am noticing as well too is that we're getting very close to some sort of resistance level up through here as well too on the SIL. So we are still in making lower highs all the way down. And this is why it's so important to keep an eye on that weekly chart, because this weekly chart, and unless this weekly chart turns around, then we're still fighting that overall trend. So we still could get some sort of lower high through here right now. Short term, we're getting a nice bullish move, yes, but we still haven't got that complete overall change in trend. Same with the SILJ as well too. Now, once again, guys, the SILJ still has these actually have a still good chance of having a bit more of an upward movement, because we are breaking through where we are right now. $10 still looks like this is where SILJ is probably like a run to, but it hasn't changed in trend just yet. Looking at the GDX as well. Now the GDX is actually one of those markets that we have indeed started to break this last previous high. So this last high up here was indeed actually broken just here. So that's actually a very strong sign for the gold stocks. Now, even if we do get some sort of a pullback, what's likely to happen now is that there's likely to find a bit of support and resistance around this sort of 2150 level. And then we can see this markets run up. So even if we do get some sort of a pullback, this is actually a very, very, very strong reversal sign in the markets, and we're likely to probably continue on from here. So even if we do get that pullback, so the gold stocks, or the GDX itself, is actually looking very strong, because we have actually now created this very first higher high. And the very first higher high is a sign that now we're possibly changing trend. Now, what do we need for an overall complete trend change on that chart? We need a higher low. And that's when we're going to start to, that's when we start to create, start to create a massive change in trend. If we do get us a nice higher low on this GDX chart, and then we start to break above these massive resistance levels through here, this 25 level through here on this weekly chart, then that's when we could possibly start to see a pretty nice move, the start to a pretty nice bull run in the miners once again. So that's actually very, 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 very interesting to see that, is a reversal about to start. Oh, what is this? Is a reversal about to start? It looks like the GDX is actually showing a sign of an overall trend of reversal. Now, again, guys, don't think you can try and pick the bottoms and tops in markets, because you may be right. Jesse B, I'm gonna get a few words of you, mate. But the thing is, but you don't want to be trying to pick tops and bottoms. Okay, wait for the market to turn around, and the same for the GDXJ, right? You can see this nice movement up on GDXJ, but look at this here. See this is the last high through here, and look at this. We made a slight higher high, didn't we? That's actually a bit of a sign. It's actually a bit of a sign. So when we're looking at this here, if I blow this chart up, and then I bring up my good old Snagit tool, and I bring this over here for you guys. I love my Snagit tool. Bring on Snagit, right? So what's likely to happen, guys? We've got a very nice strong level of support through here on this GDX level through here. If this resistance level through here, now it's actually came up and made this slight high. If we come down and create some sort of higher low, or just go sideways for a while and then break out and start to break above this resistance levels through there, then that's when we're likely to start to see once again the same reversal. But this whole move here on the GDXJ is looking very, very, very bullish. Why? Well, it's looking like an overall. Remember, guys, the short-term daily chart, we may get a few weeks of upward movement. Doesn't mean the overall trend has changed, right? We see that, we see that on Craft. We saw that in GE. You just can't try to go against that. So what we're looking at here, guys, is we're looking at this support level. We can see how the market actually broke down, just went sideways and broke back up. That's a classic. That's what we call now a classic false breakout. Because if it wasn't a false breakout, then as we came up and hit resistance, we'd continue down. But due to the fact we got a double bottom, then broke back up and out. And as you can see, right, that this level, this higher low through here, interesting, right? Look at this here, higher high. This is the very first higher high, then a higher low. This was the start of the bull run. Now we actually look at this weekly chart, the same thing as well too, right? This is the high up here. We're creating a slight higher high. So this actually could be the start of, once again, start of the next bull run in the markets through there. And we've got that channel through there. So the gold stocks and the gold junior stocks are showing so much more positive signs right now of an overall trend reversal. Now, we haven't got that yet. We want to see something like this. See what we got here. If you're a long-term investor, that is. Short-term daily charts, that doesn't matter what I'm saying here right now. I'm just giving you the overall picture. But if we're looking at the market right now, right, and we're trading the markets right now, we've got this high, we've got this higher low. That's what you want to start to see on the daily chart and then once that starts to happen, then we now got a very good start. We've now got a very good chance of now starting to the next bull run. Because if you look at this weekly chart, look at this weekly chart through here. If I squeeze my weekly chart up, oh, that's the daily chart. If I go to my weekly chart through here, what has actually been going on through here with this weekly chart? Let me bring up good old Snagit again. And as you can see here, right, and this is where reading the market and not trying to fight the market is low, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Oh, what's this? This is actually now an equal high. This is the very first time. The very first time now we've got an equal high or a slight higher high in the markets overall. So what is that saying? False breakout, high. If we get some sort of higher low, we could now start to see a pretty big and decent move running back to the upside from there. So that's what we're looking at there right now, guys. In the gold and silver stock. So out of everything we're looking at here right now, when it comes to silver and gold and so on and so forth, the silver and gold miners, the GDX and the GDXJ are showing so much more positive signs of an overall trend reversal. Okay, an overall trend reversal. You can't pick the bottoms and you can't pick the tops. The most highest probability trade. Remember, guys, trading is all about confidence. Confidence is seeing the same thing again and again and again and again. And the developer confidence is based on probability, not based on luck, not based on, oh, look, I got it right. I got it right. Look, I got in here and look, did you see that? It happened. I knew I got it right. That's completely useless to you if you can't then go replicate that tomorrow and replicate that the next day and replicate that for the rest of your life. That's what trading is all about. And and the most successful traders, they don't try and pick tops and bottoms. They wait for the market to tell them, okay, the overall market's turning around. Now the probability on my side is this. Because if you want to be right with the market, and if you keep spending your time trying to be right with the markets, trying to pick tops, trying to pick bottoms, and doing all this sort of stuff with your trading, yes, you may make money on one trade, or you may be quote unquote right with the market, or you got it right. Especially us men, right? We're egotistic people, right? It's like being right with the markets. It's like, no, don't be right with the markets. Have consistency, right? Because I don't care about whether you make money on one trade or you make money on 2 or 3 trades in a row. That doesn't mean you did a good job. That doesn't mean you're a good trader, right? It just means that in that one particular time you got lucky. It was luck. It wasn't that you were skilled, right? All you need to worry about is, are you developing a foundation where you can replicate exactly what you did today for the rest of your life? That's where confidence comes into it, and that's where you get it. Because I guarantee you, the people that are trying to pick tops and bottoms and getting in and getting out and all this sort of stuff, yes, you may make money 2 or 3 or 4 times in a row, and you may think you've got it. Right? But because you can't replicate that, because you can't have any consistency with that, because it's based on luck and it wasn't based on any proven plan at all, guess what's going to happen to you? You may make money on 1 or 2 or 3 trades. Now you think you're king shit. Now you think you've got this market. Now you think you understand these markets, and you're going to take every single bit of that profit that you made, times that by 2. You're going to double up on the next trade because you know you've got this. You're the man. You know you've got these markets handled. You're gonna put all that profit you made in the last 3 or 4 trades and more, because you think you're gonna make a fortune on this next trade. In fact, you're gonna quadruple up on this next trade, because this is gonna make you a fortune. I'm sick of making money. I'm sick of making pennies. I'm gonna start to load up because I've got this market, and that's the one that slaps you. And now your equity curve, and this is where you see so many traders' equity curves look like this, right? And guys, I had the T-shirt for this many times. That's the reason why I know what's going to happen here, right? But if you look at this here, let's actually just delete all this stuff off the screen here, right? Some traders equity curves, and guys, this is my equity curve looked like this many a times until I finally got it, that I've got to continue to work or continue to trade a plan that I can consistently make money from the markets overall, not be lucky, right? So you may start here, right? Let's say this is start, right? And this is where you want to go through here. And let's say, for example, you start the trade and and you do well, right? And then suddenly have a bit of a break-even trade, and then you do well, and then you might break-even trade, and then you might a little pullback, and okay, that was a small loss, and then you did well and you made money, and and then suddenly you start. This is where your ego kicks in. Now remember, this wasn't based on any plan through here. This is based on you being lucky, no replication of being really doing really well in the markets, and then guess what happens? Then guess what happens to you? You start to double up. You are king shit. You've got this market. You've got it all handled. And then bam. Not only do you go back down to zero, but you actually completely blow your account up in one trade. That's all it takes is one trade. Guys, I've been there so many times in my trading career. I see my equity curve done like this and then blow it up in two trades, one or two trades. Sometimes, most of the time it's just one trade because it's that one, because I was trading the markets and because I was making money 2 or 3 or 4 times, I got this. And then because the trade that I did double up and the trade I thought I was going to make a lot of money on, when it went against me, I'm like, I can't take a loss. I'm the man. I'm the king. I got these markets handled. I got this thing handled. I know exactly what's going on with these markets. I know exactly how to take control of these markets. I can't take a loss. What's going on here right now? Oh, it'll come back. And as soon as you hear that voice in your head, it'll come back. It's over. You either acknowledge that voice and get out and just say, I'm done with this, or you hold on and you watch your account go to zero, or either you watch your position go down as much as possible. You watch your position go down and 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 down until you can't handle it anymore, and then you sell, and then it goes in your markets, right? So you may buy up here. So say you buy up here, and then you get in, and the market goes against you. Oh, I can't be wrong. It goes down. Oh, I can't be wrong. And the market goes up. Oh, I knew I got it right. Oh, here we go. The market's come back up again. The market's going back up again. The markets start to reverse. I knew I got this right. All I had to do was just hold on. Here we go. Then say, boom, this happens. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, well, should I sell? Should I get out? Well, I've had 4 trades in a row right now, and I made a lot of money on there, so I can't be wrong here, right? It's like, no, it'll come back. Look at this here. Here's this 262 moving average. Oh, look, that's the thing that's going to find support. So we're going to find support here right now. I guarantee it. Oh, look. Well, it's coming down to it, and then it bounces. Oh, I told you. I knew it was going to bounce. Here we go. This is the bottom in the markets. This is what's going to happen. This is the bottom right now. Meanwhile, the market's in a downtrend. And I knew I got the bottom. I understand this now. I knew I'm king. This is going to happen. And a week later, the market does that. Hang on a minute. No, hang on a minute. I'm looking at the RSI right now. And the RSI is actually right down there, and it's starting to point up just slightly. So, all right, the RSI is at the bottom right now, and we've got this here, and it's going to turn right now. Okay, even though it broke here right now, and if I look back on my yearly chart, I can see there's actually just a fine support level coming through here. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It breaks through. You're like, oh, well, should I sell? Should I sell? Should I sell? And then it bounces. Oh, I knew I got this right. Here we go. It's on its way back up right now. I knew me holding on right now was good. And I knew, and yeah, that's right. The stochastics, it told me, or the MACD, it told me it's gonna bounce. And then boom, the market goes down like that. And then suddenly, finally, out of nowhere, you sell here because you can't handle it anymore. Because bear in mind, the market's making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. That's what the market does to you. And so the market's stepping down, the market's going down, the market's going against you, but your egotistic brain can't take a loss because you think it'll be because you've been right with the market every single time. Right, and there wasn't really any game of plan of attack, and so you watch this market drop through there, and then guess what happens? As soon as you get out, that's what happens within 4 months later. Boom, That's what happens in the markets. And that's how most traders go. So that's why when someone says to me, well, I just made 100 grand on a trade, that I didn't care about that. You know, some people say, John, you don't realize I just made $500,000 on Bitcoin. A year later, and I'm telling you right now, guys, I know some people, especially when it come to that Bitcoin, because they got it right. Bitcoin, they made 100 grand. Then I made they made 100 grand. Then they mortgaged their house. They loaded up because they thought they got it right, and then that's when everything completely blew up from there. Traders, please listen to me. It's not about you making money on one single trade or getting it right with the markets. It's about what are you doing right now to develop a foundation so you can replicate that for the rest of your life. Because if you can't say with absolute 100% certainty and throw your ego mind out the window, guys, I'm talking to the guys right now as well, because us guys, yeah, throw that ego out the window. If you are not building a foundation, if you're not building a foundation on a trading plan that you can replicate for the rest of your life, regardless of what the market is doing, then you're eventually going to end up in this position here. It happens all the time. And no matter what you do, no matter what you think, if you are still doing the same thing over and over and over again, and some of you are, you just think you're doing something different, then that's what's going to happen to you. And there's no way you're going to start to develop the confidence, the true confidence, to start to put on decent money per trade. 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand in the future. 5 years from now, you're probably going to be blown out of the market because it was based on luck. It was you made money based on luck. You made money based on something that you thought you got it right, or you thought that you understand this. And at the end of the day, I was like, no, it was like, we need that. And this is one of the biggest things, guys, as I said before, this is one of the biggest things that stopped me from moving forward, is me trying to be right with the markets, me trying to, be smarter with the markets and so on and so forth. So please, guys, please, if you are in that situation right now, I hope that story there tells you. Again, guys, I'm interested in teaching you to feed your family for the rest of your life. I don't want you. 90% of the people in this chat room right now, or 90% of the people that are watching this right now, will not be here 12 months from now. What do you think's kept me in the game 15 years now in the markets? 1, determination, but 2, eventually getting to a point after so many years of kicking myself in the ass by saying, listen, I am doing this wrong. This is about being wrong and right with the markets and all this sort of stuff. All it's about is having a game plan of every single time you get into the markets. And that's where with some of my private clients right now, I'm so proud of them because they're just sticking to the plan. And most of the trades, most of these A quality trades run on for a nice profit. And I'm just so proud of my private clients right now because they're learning the one simple but powerful trading system. They're not stressed. They're not overwhelmed because they're over trading. There is not a lot of trades. When a nice trade comes up, they're developing the confidence because they see it so many times. And I'm just so proud of my clients for that because they're building the foundation of what to look for and only what to look for. And that's how you can start to feed your family. That's how you too can become a 7-figure trader. Now, a 7-figure trader means that you make more than 7 figures a year, make more than $1 million a year. How do you eventually get to that point? You eventually get to that point by having the ability to be able to put on a decent amount of money per trade, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand per trade, sometimes up to 100 grand. Now, I'm not saying you're going to start there, but if you eventually want to become a 7-figure trader, how are you building that foundation with your confidence where it comes time to have that confidence when you see a beautiful setup? How are you going to have that confidence to even put 10 grand on that trade or 50 grand on that trade, in due time? And that 50 grand trade, if that $50,000 trade, and if that does 2 times, if that one trade on a $50,000 investment does 2 times, like, say 200% margin or even 200% on that, well, that's your 100 grand there. Even if it does 1-to-1, that's a $50,000 profit. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys even more. And now, if you guys are stuck right now, and you are guys making, and you find yourself you're making a lot of mistakes, and you're finding yourself struggling right now in the market, then I recommend you booking a coaching call with me. As you guys know, I do a one-on-one coaching call, but it is quite expensive because I value my time, and I spend 1 hour with you to help you understand where you're going wrong, so you can start to move forward. But I'm doing a 60% off sale for today only. So if that interests you, then go to johnscoachingcall.com, JOHNS coachingcall.com, or there should be a link in the description, and then go book with that, guys, and I'll be able to look over you and really just over that hour, I'll be able to see where you're going wrong and where you're going right, so I can at least get you on the right path to start moving forward in a big way. With that being said, guys, let me go now and have a look at the chat box, because I haven't been looking at the chat box. I haven't wanted to, but let me now go and answer some questions here. Justin says, looking ready, but no confirmation yet. That's exactly right. Yes, if you're looking at the Dow Jones, that's exactly right. Hey, John, did you see NIO breakout? NIO. Let's have a look at that. NIO did break out. ACB breakout next. Now, the one thing you did have on your side here, Jesse, is that you were starting to trade with the trend, meaning you got a higher high here that it came down, made a higher low, and then it broke out. So that's one thing you did have on your side through here. But apart from that, my man, ACB breakout. Yeah, that may happen. We may get a breakout here on ACB. But again, you're still very, very, very floppy with your rules there, man, because, yeah. So, weekly candle and yesterday's daily look bearish so far. SPX hit that resistance spot on. Yeah. Well, it's definitely not bearish. Definitely doesn't look bearish. The SPX. Oh, let's just go to use the SPY. The weekly candle and the daily candle, that does not look bearish at all. There's nothing bearish about this. Yeah, it looks unchanged to me. Yeah. 28th of Feb will be the day when the second estimate for the fourth quarter of the GDP is released. I think, hope, or fear anything. I don't think. Very good, Savage. Very good. Trade what you see, not what you think is going to happen. I think it's going to break out. So let's do this. That's why, once again, guys, with people that are my coaching clients, I teach them. So right now I'm doing general analysis, but I teach them exactly what to look for in an A-quality setup, and they just absolutely just crush it, and it develops the confidence over time. If you see the chart on ACB, there you go. There's that word, could break out the $12 level, then surpass that, because in the year chart it had cup and handle. Currently in a bullish flag, needs confirmation tomorrow, but yesterday, it's down yesterday. Oh geez. Jesse B, what you said right there, you should say, I'm getting in. I'm getting into ACB because it meets my trading plan that I trade every single time. And this trading setup that I'm getting right now in ACB is the exact same setup that I took the trade before that, and then it's going to be the exact same setup that I took after that. That's basically what you need to say on that. Not because it could or you think were good moves. Don't fight the market. Cube, very done. John, you are awesome, by the way. Oh, thanks, Jesse. I've been giving you hell these last 2 days. I appreciate that. We just filled the gap today. Reverse E breakdown. Too much greed in the market. Least shorted 2007. Way too many people. You know what, Rav? You may be right there, but who says that? The market's not going to change just because one thing through there. It really isn't. I made money on drip today. Cool. Buy the dip. Buy the drip. Buy the drip. Tomorrow, 27th markets have a high probability of going gapping down. That's what you think. That's what you think will happen. Who knows? Oil will drop tomorrow. Jesse, weren't you bullish just a week ago? How could you be bullish a week ago and now you're bearish, USO? Jesse, I don't understand. I don't understand this. If you look at the daily chart on USO, which is oil, it's actually made a higher high and a higher low. It's now made another higher high. So we're actually in some sort of short-term upward trend. Your NIO, your NIO chart, your daily chart looks exactly like that. But hang on a minute. Your bullish NIO, this has a nice upward trend, higher high, higher low. But on oil, you're bearish. But they have the exact same chart pattern. Hang on a minute. What's going on there? I don't get that. One market is actually, we're getting a nice higher high, higher low at NIO, and it broke out. USO has actually been going up just slightly, just a nice little slight upward trend. Doesn't mean it's going to stay like that because that weekly chart could roll over any time. But I don't get why they both have the exact same setup, but you're bullish one and bearish the other. Huh? I'm simply reading the charts. Well, you're reading them wrong, my man, because they have the exact same chart pattern. I just bought some ACB today, Jesse. Hope you are right then. Come on, seriously. Bo. People have been calling the top for 10 years. Exactly right, Gregory. Exactly right. Make sure stops at 7%. Okay. G'day, mate. Big fan. I started following you when I was living in Brizzy. Shout out from Rome. Cuz. Fantastic. I think this rally is a sucker one. Why? You have to look at the TLT. I share treasury bond. Okay. Okay. Timeless being. You may be right with that, but you never want to make a decision on one market based on what another market is doing. All right. So if just because the bond market is doing something, that does not mean it's going to have a direct or an indirect, a direct, straight away impact on what the stock market is doing. So that's basically that's a really big mistake. So some people think, oh, the stock market's going to crash, so therefore silver and gold's going to go up, and so I'm going to buy silver and gold. No, wrong. Or stock market's going to crash, so therefore the miners are going to take off, so I'm going to buy some mining gold stocks. That's completely wrong. You want to trade that market based on whatever your setup is. Okay, yep. I'm dying right now. This was me natural gas a month ago. Slap on the forehead. Oh no, Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers get crushed. Look at that puppy. Like Kraft. Oh, Weight Watchers. W. Oh, WTW. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Weight Watchers getting crushed. Oh, but it's the bottom. You know, there's it's the bottom in the market right now. You know, it's surely it's going to bottom out here, isn't it? Come on, Jesse, you should be buying it right now, right? This is definitely the bottom. Thanks for the response. I just figured the professional trade. Okay, yep. Not true. When 10-year hit 325 kiss the market. Goodbye. Brad, again, you may be right with that, but you never want to think that that's going to be definitely be the case, because there is no 100% certainties in the markets. There is no 100% certainties in the markets, and just because one market is doing something doesn't mean it's going to definitely correlate with that. You can't make a decision based on that, because I see, Jesse. So yeah, you can't make a decision at that time. So guys, once again, if you are stuck with your trading right now and you're having a hard time, and you want to be able to see what the mistakes you're making and what you need to start doing to actually start moving forward, then I'm running a 60% off, on a coaching call, 1 hour coaching call. And I'm doing that for today only. So you can go to John's, what? Settle down now. Johnny, you married? No, I'm not married. I'm actually divorced. I'm a blonde-haired girl with huge boobs. Well, that doesn't mean nothing. You may be a pretty girl and you might be a Fruit Loop. Trust me, I've definitely dated a lot of pretty girls and they've been Fruit Loops. It's like, damn, what the hell did I get myself into? Fuck. Now I've got to run away from this and get over this huge breakup. You're I'll tell you what, some pretty girls, they're very pretty, awesome sex. But then when you start to get to know them, like, damn, this girl's a Fruit Loop. I got to run. So I don't care about the show. I really don't. Physical attraction is interest to me, but I really am into that. I'm more into that connection that I can really, really have. I know you are, Bo. I know you are. Because, Bo, I remember, Bo, I'm seriously getting worried about you, man, because I remember just about a week ago, you said, if I was a girl, I'd marry you. And now you're bringing it up again? I'm starting to get worried, man. I remember what you said a week ago. You're like, if I was a woman, I'd marry you. I love you. I'm like, damn. Oh, man, where's this chat box going today? Damn. This is so unprofessional, isn't it? Who cares? Oh, she just wants your money, bro. What a hoe. Yeah, actually, you know what? My last girlfriend was like that, and it took me a few years, and I'm still going through that fucking sting right now myself, guys. By the way, from my ex-girlfriend, it's like fuck. It took me so many years to realize that. So anyway, that's another story for another day. But I'm still going through a fucking sting right now from my ex-girlfriend because of that. So, and I've definitely learned a lot from that. When it comes to my personal life, that is anyway, going through after a 3.5 year, 4 year relationship. I definitely now see things a lot more clearer. It doesn't mean it's hard, right? Because you got the head saying one thing and the heart says one thing. So, but you know what, guys, at the end of the day, you've just got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And you can't go back to comfort. You can't go back to something that you know that's not right. So bit of a tip for you guys that are dating: be careful for the first 3 or 4 months, because once you get really, really hooked on someone, and the real them shows up, that's when you start to become goo goo gaga over them, and it fucking stings when you have to walk away from someone that you truly love and they're fucked up. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but yeah. But yeah, so I'll tell you right now, guys, that I'm going through a sting right now myself because of that. Because I had to walk away from someone that I just deeply, deeply loved and had such an amazing connection with, but she had these narcissistic and passive aggressive tendencies that just I fucking sick to death of putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, and even though it fucking hurts right now, like I'm talking about what I'm going through right now, even though it fucking stings right now, logically my brain says one thing, my heart says another thing. But I know in time, I'm going to meet someone even better. And I have to stand up for myself for what I want and allow that space to create it. And the best thing that I can do is feel it to heal it. The best thing that I can do as I go through this sting right now, emotional sting, is to, whenever the emotions come up, I just got to let it go. You know what I mean? Like if I feel like crying, I've got to cry. If I feel like getting cranky, whatever I'm feeling, I've got to feel it. And when I do that, it just gets better and better and better and better. That doesn't mean it takes away from there. 3.5, 4 year relationship, that's going to take, Yeah, it's already been 4 or 5 months since that happened. I've seen her a few times since then, but this thing still happens. It's probably going to take a lot longer as well too. By the time I fully get over her, but I've got to continue to work on that and create that space for someone that I truly deserve, and not someone that has these fucking narcissistic, passive aggressive tendencies to just completely fuck things up and then blame me for that shit. Anyway, I'm turning into a relationship coach here. um, thanks for what you do, John. No problem. Oh, you have a good memory, Bo. I'm telling you right now. I actually, Bo. I'm telling you right now, man. That's something that a lot of people have said about me. Like even my ex girlfriend, she's just like, "Damn, you remember that? You remember all the details?" Put it this way, guys. I do a lot of intermittent fasting, and I believe my intermittent fasting really, really, really helps with my memory when it comes to a lot of things. So as you know, Bo, right? Like I obviously do a lot of things throughout my personal life and my business life and trading. I speak to a lot of people. I do this every single day. So for me to remember that happened a week or two ago, right? It's like, it's like you can see I have. Were you surprised that I remembered it, and I remembered it was you? Yeah, exactly. The game is rigged against guys. Well, I wouldn't say it's rigged against guys. We're just us guys just fall head over heels in love with someone that we have no idea what they're really about. The facade, the all that sort of stuff. And then 3 or 4 months later, we're hooked on them. It's just like, and we don't realize the truth. But there are signs. There are. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that the system's rigged against us. It's just us guys are so damn fucking stupid that when we see a red flag, we completely ignore it. Oh, like when the girlfriend says, "I fuck all my relationships up." I'll be different. Like my ex-girlfriend, she said, "I've only had a couple of long-term relationships." Oh, okay. Then so most of the relationships been short. What does that say about her? What did I say? Oh, I'm going to be different. I'll fix you. She fucking fixed me, all right. I'll fix you. It's like, fuck, it stings. Anyway, I have something very clear since I follow John. Don't try and pick tops and bottoms. Trade the trend. And UGAs sucks. Not even trade the trend, guys. Like we have a trend, but you've got to have a trading system with an exact trading pattern. That's what you want to be looking for there, guys. And nothing else. And nothing else. That's what you want to be looking for, and nothing else from there. So, in any event, guys, I appreciate you guys once again. If you are struggling with your trading right now, or maybe it's with your health and stuff like that, like if you guys know my health story and so on and so forth, or something like that, or it may be something that you just want to have an hour chat with me because you need help with something. That again, I'm running a 60% off sale today. So if you do want to have a chat with me, maybe it's about trading, maybe it is about health and fitness, maybe it's about something else, but you just want to have a chat with me for an hour to help you out in some area. Then just go to johnscoachingcall.com. There is a link in the description. You can go to that, and then once you book it, then we'll book an hour coaching call together, and I'll make sure that I will see what your situation is. The first half of the call is me figuring out exactly where you're at and what you need help with, and then the second half will me be able to devise a plan and to help you move forward from that situation. So, all right, guys, that's it for me today. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you next time.